Holy moly. 6ix9ine turns himself in to do his 3 months in the feds for violating I think whatever probation, whatever he's on, you know what I mean? He had a couple of people with him, Ack, um, Aiden Ross, his folks. Okay, this is, hopefully, bro, learns a lesson from this. But being realistic, we know I okay. I suspect he's not right. Let me take a step back. So, of course, he's going this because of violating probation, because of whatever they found some things in his stuff. We already know, everybody that knows 6ix9ine knows 6ix9ine. All right. The main thing about this video for me is about learning lessons. And it's beginning to seem like this whole thing is a routine, right? Originally, of course, 6ix9ine came up with the whole, music, all that good stuff. After everything, became labeled as a RAT, you know what I'm saying, as in telling teller, you know what I'm saying, all that good word, right? Bruh bites the cheese, as they say, right? Um, After that, he came out still doing music, all that good stuff, and now, you know, embodying the persona of the RAT. I say RAT. You know what I mean? Um, he's, I guess you could say he's living his life, but I don't think bro learned the lesson that he was supposed to learn when he got involved with all those things, because of course he went back in for violating probation that he got put on, of course, after getting out, on the light, blah blah blah, and now he's going back in again. You know what I'm saying? And my thing with this video is, I'm kind of scatterbrained with it, just because it's like, bro, this man has been given so many chances, to clean his life, to, get his act together. And I'm not trying to judge nobody. We gonna get, this is life. We're gonna make a lot of mistakes. But the goal is not to keep making the same mistake, right? What they say, Albert Einstein says, making the same mistake over and doing the same thing over and over again is insanity, right? Some people say you got to be insane to achieve some goals, which is, doing crazy stuff, But at the same time, when you see something that's not favorable to you and you keep going at it over and over again, of course you insane. But I would think at this point, insanity is the least of your problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not gonna put no words on nobody, but I would say something like stupidity might be the issue. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, like, bro, you're making bread. Doing all these things. Why are they still finding drugs in your thing? Why are they, why not just deal with this whole thing and get it over with so you can be a free man? Why do you keep doing things to, get back in there? You know what I mean? I have a theory that just popped in my head. Maybe Burr's doing this so he can still stay under the Fed's watch, so people don't really touch him. It's a theory. It's just a theory, throwing it out there. Say multiple perspectives, right? You know what I mean? If I'm looking at it from that perspective, maybe he's just, because I don't get it. Broad says some people can't think beyond tomorrow. Even thinking beyond tomorrow, because if you think beyond tomorrow, to me at least, from my concept, I want to make it to tomorrow, right? I want to enjoy tomorrow, right? I'm saying, you get what I'm saying? So if I'm thinking about tomorrow, I'm about to do something today. I'm thinking, bro, am I going to be able to make it tomorrow? Am I going to be able to enjoy tomorrow? He doesn't even seem to be thinking as far as tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? This is just observation wise. I'm not judging, bro. This is from outside looking in. I don't know him personally, but it seems like, bro, is just another perspective, right? You already know what we do on here, multiple perspectives. It could be the trauma, right? Emotional trauma from having the only group of friends that he claimed to have, right? Him putting them behind bars. It could be the trauma, so he's just crashing out. You can say like PTSD or whatever it is, how people experience something and they just, they don't know how to deal with it, so they just start doing crazy stuff. So that could possibly be a thing. Welcome Dylan to the fam bam. But yeah, so that could possibly be a thing, right? Because I use myself. I always like to use myself for example. You know what I'm saying? And I love us to use ourselves, right? And that's kind of the whole idea, right? When I'm reacting on my brand is put empathy. Put yourself in the shoe. Look at myself, grinding, doing all these things, working, social media, filmmaking, music, all these things are trying to do to get bread. When I get bread, do you think I'm just gonna throw it away? Maybe, but I would hope that when I finally get to this position of getting what I want, I will try to do everything to secure and hold on to it and not try to fumble it, regardless of how, surrounding, let's, for example, my motivation right now is my family. My family, I'm talking about, I don't have no kids. I'm talking about like my parents, my brother, my sister, my family, nephews, nieces. I want to make bread for my family, right? Let's assume I make this bread and then things in my family doesn't work. Things go crazy. Would I just say, you know what? Screw this whole bread because I don't think that would be wise, right? So it could be trauma from bruh going through what, and he doesn't know how to react. So he's just kind of spazzing and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But ultimately, I don't think that fixes the problem. A lot of us would say that doesn't fix the problem because, bro, come on, bro. Like, how do you make so much money and just, okay, fine, they call you it's like the Young Thug thing, right? You can't associate with the people you used to associate with, all that good stuff. So basically, you can't be the person you used to be. You have to create a whole new identity, right? Fine, okay, nigga, you got the money to do that. Imagine someone like me trying to do something like that. Imagine someone like you trying to do something like that, trying to create a whole new identity with limited funds, extremely limited funds, right? But he has the avenue to do that. But he keeps, for some reason, falling back into the thing. And that's what I'm saying. It has to be something emotional, right? It just has to be something emotional because I can't mentally trying to put myself in his shoe. And of course, you should do the same. Appreciate it. You should do the same, right? Why throw away something you've worked so hard? Think about it another way. You've worked so hard for it. You've tossed friends away for it to retain, to keep it, right? And then you just keep throwing it away. I seen something recently that the TraxNYC guy, the jeweler, that has been trending for the whole thing. He was on a stream with Aiden Ross, right? And he has a problem with 6ix9ine, where he's waiting for 6ix9ine to get out of his thing, and he told him, how does he have that issue? Because of his personality. I'm talking about 6ix9ine has that issue because of his personality, right? How are you this? How? Right? Because don't get me wrong. As I said, I put my because I'm someone that doesn't like trouble. I don't like issues. If it comes my way, I handle it swiftly, efficiently, and ruthlessly. That's just the way I am because I don't want. I'm good. I don't need that. I don't want that energy, right? So I do everything in my life to kind of, what I mean? How do you get to a point where, what I'm saying, you've achieved and you've gotten a lot of things? I don't know. Another theory or another perspective. These perspectives keep coming. I've thought about it this way. You know how some people are nice, right? And then they change over time and they become, let's say they make money and now they become this envious, whatever it is, whatever the word is, right? And people are like, oh, you change, you negative now. I think about it. The possibility is that maybe you hustled on your own, not necessarily on your own. There were people that helped you out, but for the most part, you did this with nobody really truly believing in you other than yourself. When you get to that point, after going through hardship and struggle, I can say this for myself. I keep using myself for example, you know, and as I said, I love us to use ourselves. Um, when I go through hardship, like after going through all this hardship and everything, you know, I think about it when I finally make this bread, all the people that didn't believe in me, you know, whether they be family, friends, whatever it is, how am I gonna react at that point in time? You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna be cool with them? And you know what I'm saying? Like, do I really give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all that plays, you know, a role into it. You know what I'm saying? Me generally, because I think all these factors play a role into how people think, right? So switching up, right? Maybe 6ix9ine switched up as he got, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Over time. You know what I mean? He got, either you could say, some people could say stupider. Some people could say uh 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 more whatever. He switched up. He changed over time, right? And it could be because of that. It could be because of whatever. But I just, in general, I'm really just trying to comprehend why this man keeps making a routine of wasting his life, dog. Like it seems like, you know what I mean? At this point, you can't do street stuff no more. Do clean stuff. There's a lot of clean stuff you can do. There's a ton of clean stuff you can do, right? Rebrand, start your life all over. You know what I mean? I don't. Why do you keep? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm running out of theories as well. So it's like you know, I keep looking at it because I don't. One thing I try not to do is just go ahead and say, "Oh, you stupid," you know, "you wrong," you did. No, because there's always a reason. People always do. There's always a reason, right? Like how it's perspectives. There are always multiple perspectives. Like I always say, like there's no right and wrong. It's just different perspectives. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? And in this situation, it's just, I think, if you know, we've heard him in interviews and all that good stuff, but I don't feel that that's enough. Like there have to be a, you know what I'm saying, like a real reason why this man is just, because bro, like I would think if you have this much bread, bro, there's so many businesses, so many things you could do, dog. Like, bro, me being like this, I can think of a lot of businesses that don't cost nothing but probably like a 10 racks, all that good stuff. And these niggas, they got millions. So it's like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't get it, dog. You know what I mean? I really don't get it. I don't understand why this man is making this a routine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like it just, it's, to me, it seems like he just wasted. Uh, he's wasting his potential. You know what I'm saying? And opportunity and resources. Cause bro, like I don't know, bro. Like there's a lot of things, bro. Like I think a lot of people are talented out in this world. A lot of people are talented. A lot. You know what I'm saying? It might be their destiny, or it might not be their destiny for them to make money or not. You know what I'm saying? Or be famous or not. But if it, you know, I don't know. I guess if it's destiny, you're gonna only act how you gonna act. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's for me, it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of just wasting your life is. I mean, then again, who am I to say someone's wasting their life, right? You know, whatever you determine your life to be, to him, maybe he's living a glorious life. He just wants to do all that, whatever the fuck he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Brett turned himself in, right? So hopefully he, you know, uses his time to calm his head down. I had seen some things where he was talking about he was chilling. Last time he went, he was chilling with Diddy and some president. Now he's about to be chilling with like a Colombian president or some Venezuelan president or something like that. If that's what this man's excited for, then I don't think Brett's really ready to change. You know what I'm talking about? But as I said, going to jail on a regular basis, 3 months in jail, you know, or whatever, prison, feds, whatever, all that shit. That shit is a waste of time, bro. Like life is already too unpredictable. Like I'm not about to be playing with the little life or the unpredictable life I do got. You know, so I'm not about to be listening to people on some shit that's not beneficial to me. I'm not about to be like, there's a lot of things. I'm not about to be wasting my time doing things I don't love. You know, so I'm not about to be living a life that's just not, you know what I mean? I just, you know what I mean? But then again, as I said, everybody has their own goals and their own things. Some people like to live a chill life. And some people, those people sometimes are the ones that money ends up, they end up being famous or rich and all that. You like, damn, why you wasting all that shit? But they originally just wanted to be chill. While some people have ambition and they might never achieve it. You know what I mean? They might be it's just life is not fair, dog. It ain't no movie, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your destiny, your plan is, whatever it is. All we can do is just play according to how it's been written for us. You feel me? Like this, you know what I mean? Aim for what you can aim for, and at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, when you're about to close your eye for the last time, you're gonna see what you done or what you ain't done. You know what I'm saying? What you achieved, what you ain't achieved. But I just ain't got time to be wasting, dog. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I ain't got time to be arguing with nobody. I ain't got time. Like, look, bro, like all these reactions I do, you know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, yo, I see you reacting like this. What if, whatever, you blew up and then, somebody starts reacting about you and it's in a negative light? What you gonna do? I'm like, bro, what am I going? What you want? What am I gonna do? I react to people. So if they react to me, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think I will go crazy about it because I just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They make their money, I make my money. I don't know. And at that time will tell. You know what I'm saying? Change is only constant. Anyway, but yeah, I just seen this. You know what I'm saying? And I thought to bring that shit up. You know what I'm saying? And because the lesson there is just, this is becoming a little bit too repetitive, and hopefully we can learn not to fall for the trap, because we, as I said, we human. You know what I'm saying? Every day we wake up, we just shouldn't be making the same mistake. You know what I mean? You make mistakes all the time. Like, as Christians, the Bible says sin. Our nature is sin. Buddhists say life is suffering. You know what I'm saying? Different religions, all basically the point is we ain't perfect. Ain't nobody fucking perfect. You know what I mean? But the idea is, when you realize you're imperfect in this thing, you should work to correct that one, and then you work towards the next one. It's an infinite number of imperfections, but if you don't start working on nothing, it's just gonna keep piling up. You know what I'm saying? The more, every day, every second is a new imperfection. So if you don't try to fix the ones that's already there, it's just gonna keep piling every day, and eventually you're just gonna be a fucking pile of imperfections that's damn near impossible for you to fix. You know what I'm saying? And this is just my ideology, but you know what I mean. Of course, let me know what you think. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all. As usual, you know what I'm saying. Of course, as I always say, peace, blessings, thumbs up, give me a like, give me a like, give me a hype, give me a follow or subscription or subscribe. Give me a share. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Fuck with your boy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see y'all next time though, which is basically tomorrow. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow for tomorrow's topic, man. Peace and blessings.